KOAM Skyview, bringing you the big picture. KOAM News Now.
Right now at 5, Joplin residents attending the Chiefs Parade recount the chaos during the mass shooting.
And we've got ourselves a cold, breezy, and potentially wintry day out there. We're going to take a look at that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
Plus, Ascension plans to transfer ownership of Via Christi Hospital in Pittsburgh to Mercy.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 5 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner, so the youngest is feeling better.
Welcome back, Chris.
It's good to be back. I don't like being home for those reasons, you know, because he was feeling better, which is good.
Good.
But, Mom and I didn't get any sleep, though, the other night because, boy, he was sick. Out of nowhere. Just happens sometimes, I guess, you know.
I guess it's going around. Make sure you wash your hands out there.
Absolutely. Take care of yourselves. Don't get sick.
Distance yourself from those that could be.
I am not ill. It was something he ate.
All right.
No, he had Valentine's Day parties at school and then had like 6 pounds of candy plus dinner and then a late night snack because he never stops eating, and that's probably what triggered it. And you know what's going to trigger our wintry mix today? Dropping temperatures. It's going to get chilly. In fact, our daytime highs, we're reaching those about now. And then temperatures will fall. Now, the good news is, as we've been mentioning, they're not going to just plummet. We're not going to drop 40 degrees in an hour or anything crazy like that, but it's going to get cold. Our camera on the Cordell Complex looking good. I did not set this right, but we'll take a look at all the MoDOT cameras. Why not? Looking good across the area. All the roadways are clear. And Skywatch Storm Tracker, we do have a few showers along 54 from around Nevada back towards Stockton and heading eastward toward Rolla out there. That's really about it, but outside, we've got the snow up in, I didn't set anything today. Boy. Well, anyway, you can see the snow. You can see this system. It's a cold front that's getting ready to roll through. We don't have any winter weather alerts in our area or anything like that, nor do we anticipate any, but a wintry mix will be possible later today. We're talking maybe a dusting of snow, and that's going to be mainly in our northern counties. Most of us, just the way the temperatures are going to fall and the way the system will roll through, a lot of us, this will stay rain through most of the day. It won't get cold enough to be snow until after it rolls on through. But off to the northwest, chilly, upper 30s, low 40s, so a little milder off to the south and east. We've even got 51 in Bentonville. Kids getting on the bus this morning? 41, cloudy, east breeze 5 to 10. The other half of this story is going to be wind chills getting down into the 30s and 20s out there. 33 when that bus brings them home. Mostly cloudy, north winds gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour. So again, our highs early today, and then temperatures again gradually falling through the day. That wintry mix moves in mid-morning, continues till about noon, 1 o'clock, and then the rain and the snow move out of here, and then we're just cloudy and cold heading through the evening. We'll talk more about how cold it's going to get and whether or not the spring-like temperatures will make a comeback in that full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Police say deadly gun violence during the Kansas City Chiefs victory rally appears to have been sparked by a dispute. Lisa Lopez Galvin, a 43-year-old mother of 2 and popular radio DJ, was killed in the shooting. More than 20 others were injured, most of them shot, including nearly a dozen children. As of yesterday evening, 2 juveniles remain in custody in the case. An adult has been released. Authorities want to speak with people who are in the area about what they saw and are urging them to share any cell phone video they may have. Some 4-staters also witnessed yesterday's tragedy in Kansas City. KOAM's Fernanda Silva spoke to 2 of them who shared what they saw, heard, and felt.
I never thought a situation like this would ever happen, so that I would be a part of. So I don't know how I'm going to process the next couple of days, because the part that really rubs me wrong is that he touched me. And I was there. I mean, it was right there. Like, all the what ifs go through my head.
He, according to Webb City resident Tara Yariane, is one of the suspects of being involved in the Chiefs Super Bowl parade shooting. She recalls the scary moments she lived alongside friends.
We started to walk, and then we hear this boom, 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 boom. And my friend's daughter was walking next to me, and she looked at me, and she's like, was that gunshots? 30 seconds, it just wasn't very long afterwards. We hear this, move, 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 move. And then he ran into me, and I was like, ow. And then next thing I know, he was on the ground right in front of me. by a police officer and by another just normal person tackled him.
Another Four States resident, Daniel Ledoux, says he was only 50 yards from where the shooting happened.
Next thing I know, I'm watching paramedics, police, EMTs, and local security just taking off, running off to our left.
Ledoux took shelter inside the Union Station and then was moved to a parking garage.
Everybody's getting phone calls from family. Hey, I know you're there. You okay? This is what we're hearing on the news. Our cell service was pretty bad, but people are trying to figure out what's going on.
But figuring out what happened was and still is a process.
Pulled into the church parking lot. As I'm starting to walk into church, I relax, and that's when the eyes started leaking. That's when reality hit and going, yeah, it did happen.
While dealing with emotions, they hope for a better future.
Hey, we're going to win the Super Bowl next year. Full confidence. The security next year at the parade is going to be so much different. And I'll be glad it's there after this.
I'm just very thankful that my 9-year-old son didn't witness any of this. I don't want to be locked up in the house for the rest of my life. We want to be able to go out and do things and do these kind of things and celebrate our Chiefs and, all the things.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Ledoux highlighted bravery of law enforcement who are working in Kansas City. And Ascension plans to transfer ownership of Via Christi Hospital in Pittsburgh to Mercy. A statement released by Mercy says Ascension and Mercy have entered into an ownership agreement. It's not yet clear how this transition will affect employment within the facility or when this transition will be completed in full. Pittsburgh City Manager Darren Hall and Pittsburgh residents spoke on how they feel this transaction will affect their community.
I think it's an exciting time. I have a lot of faith in Mercy. I appreciate what Ascension Via Christi's done over the years, and it does look like a growth opportunity to some extent.
My doctor wasn't allowed to work at Via Christi before, and now she will be because she's a Mercy doctor.
Mercy released a statement stating, quote, "We've been impressed with the care Via Christi has provided Pittsburgh for years, and we want to continue that long legacy of Catholic health care. We're 100% committed to caring for Pittsburgh and all of Southeast Kansas for years to come." And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in the first 7 minutes. Coming up on KOAM News at Noon, the Bulldogs' penultimate home game of the regular season was last night against Ozark. We'll have the details. Plus, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle hit the slopes and show support for the Invictus Games in Canada. And we have chances of a wintry mix today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Are you or a family member in need? Whether you're a caregiver, nurse, or client, we look forward to getting to know you. Reach out today.
Yesterday was Thursday, and I'm sorry, that just struck me as funny. Yes, it was. Well, here in the 4 states, that means it's also time to talk Thunder basketball. OKC is still hanging around the top of the Western Conference in second place, but there are 4 teams within 2.5 games of first place. Right now, the Thunder enjoying an extended break, which you typically don't see during the middle of the NBA regular season. They last played on Tuesday, and their next game isn't until next Thursday. Last time out, the Thunder beat the Magic 127-113. It's their second win in a row and 5th victory in the last 7 contests. Once OKC wraps up the rest period, it plays 3 games in 4 days, the second of which you can watch on the 4 States CW. And that's next Friday's game against the Wizards at Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30 with tip-off at 7. In contrast with the Thunder, the Wizards are in the midst of a brutal season. They're 9-45, which is the second worst in the NBA. Over to high school basketball in the 4 states. We're 2 weeks away from district tournament time in Missouri. Carl Junction is hoping to finish strong. The Bulldogs' penultimate home game of the regular season was last night against Ozark. Carl Junction girls basketball hosting Ozark on homecoming. This one was back and forth all night. We're going to go ahead and pick it up at the end of the 3rd quarter. Carl Junction up by 3. Sydney Hampton left open from the top of the key. She drains the shot at the buzzer. That would be foreshadowing. We go to the 4th. CJ goes inside to Kylie Scott. She turns around and scores, puts the Lady Bulldogs up 2. Couple possessions later, Desi Williams with the rejection. Lady Bulldogs back on offense. Kylie Scott turns around and scores. She surpasses 1,000 rebounds in her high school career. Work still to be done. Tie game, 3.5 to play. Williams drives and hits the layup to put CJ on top. Final seconds now. CJ up by 1. Ozark's first shot misses. So does the second, but at the buzzer, Hampton sinks it. The refs would discuss it and say she did get the shot off in time. Ozark stuns Carl Junction 46-45 on homecoming. Carl Junction boys basketball hoping to avenge the loss in the girls' game. Ozark starts out hot. Hudson Roberts pokes the ball free. Can't finish the layup on the first try. He gets his own miss, though, and finishes to put the Tigers up by 4. Carl Junction responds. Jet Hokut finds Cooper Videz in the corner. He hits the 3. Next possession, Videz again on the catch and shoot from the corner. That's going to be good from deep. Bulldogs up by 2, but Ozark loves to get out in transition. Off another steal, 6'4" Jake Garner rises up for the two-handed slam. Tigers go up 9 in the second quarter. CJ battles back all game, never goes away. Jet Hokut on the steal, finishes in transition plus the foul. Bulldogs tied at 61 in the final seconds, and their game-winning shot attempt just rolls off the rim. Ozark wins 64-62. Still to come, why 2 wildly popular diabetes medications are also used for weight loss got pricier this year. Plus, we'll have another check of that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Comes to your cremation, shouldn't you make the decision?
Johnson, Voorhees, and Martucci. Don't settle for less.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:16 coming up on 5:17 on this Friday morning, and I have to share this very, very quickly. I've been in the studio since, 3-something this morning. In the last half hour, I'm not kidding, I've seen somebody, when I've been sitting right over here, out of the corner of my eye, walk from this green screen over toward the desk. And every time I look up, there's nobody over here. So if I go running out of this studio screaming, you'll know why. I'm not kidding. I swear. Somebody's walked from here to there 3 different times in the last half hour. All right, let's get to the forecast before something shows up and freaks me out. How's our camera on the Cordell Complex? Looking good. Same from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Skywatch Storm Tracker, we are looking at some showers out there around Stockton, Osceola, just kind of scattered around Nevada. Nothing significant, but believe it or not, some of us could see, or hear, a rumble of thunder or two with some of this activity today. Showers continuing to develop, and they will do so as we go through the morning, and as temperatures fall, some of that rain will eventually transition to some light snow or a light wintry mix. But 2 things. 1, whatever we get is going to be brief. 2, some of us will stay just warm enough as this system rolls through that you won't actually see a transition to anything. It'll remain rain. So this is 9 o'clock. Our northern counties, of course, getting colder first. Fort Scott, Nevada, Chanute, Yates Center. So getting in on some of that light snow, light wintry mix. Now on the future track, again, it's doing its best to interpret where the snow could be. But you see, we've also got some cooler temperatures sinking a little further south. So where there's rain, that could be some of that wintry mix as well by noon, and then all of this is out of here by about 3 o'clock with a few stray showers maybe around Cassville, Bentonville this afternoon. Otherwise, it's cloudy and it is breezy, and it is going to get cold, but it is going to be seasonably cold. Snow tracker, as you can see, not much out there. Stockton, the only location registering any kind of measurable precipitation here at 1/10 of an inch. Everyone else, we're looking to see maybe a dusting at best for those who actually see snow. What we're all going to have to contend with is wind chills back into the 20s, maybe even upper teens in some cases, with north winds gusting upwards of 30, potentially 35 miles an hour. And it will stay breezy through tonight and into the first half of our Saturday before those winds do calm down and give us a bit of a break. We've got clouds in Joplin right now. See, now that got me. 44, the wind is calm for the time being, but it will begin to pick up over the next couple of hours here. We've got upper 40s the further southeast you go. And if we look at Bentonville, still sitting at 51. But as you head further northwest, Yates Center, Iola, for example, upper 30s and low 40s into southeast Kansas. We're hitting highs early, and some of our friends, again, Yates Center and Iola, for example, hit their highs maybe about 3 hours ago. We're looking at highs, technically, in the mid to upper 40s, but temperatures will be gradually dropping as we go through the morning. We'll see that rain. Some of us will see that wintry mix. All of us seeing the wind, falling back to the upper 30s by late morning. Highs today, again, early in the upper 40s, so that's what we're technically hitting. But as we head through the afternoon, the best we're going to do is the 30s. Tonight, we fall back into the 20s out there, so it'll be a pinch below average, but not far off. Much below average tomorrow, as we're supposed to be near 50, 37, gradual clearing, sunny, warmer on Sunday, and then those spring-like temperatures make a return next week. Upper 50s, upper 60s, low 70s by Wednesday, with some additional rain chances by next Thursday. And that is a check of your forecast. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Driving a new Honda is as easy as one. Only at Roper Honda on virtually every vehicle.
Your warranty lasts forever at Roper Honda.
Topping Health Watch this morning, Ozempic and Mounjaro, two wildly popular diabetes medications, also used for weight loss, got pricier this year. So did about 900 other brand name medications. That's according to 46 Brooklyn, a nonprofit drug pricing analytics firm. Specifically, Novo Nordisk boosted the list price of Ozempic by 3.5% to $969 for a month's supply. The company said it increases the list prices of some medications each year based on changes in the healthcare system, inflation, and market conditions. Meanwhile, Eli Lilly raised the list price of Mounjaro by 4.5% to $1,069 for a month's supply. Neither company hiked the list prices of their versions of the same drugs approved by the Food and Drug Administration to treat obesity. For obesity, they go by the brand names Wegovy and Zepbound. A Georgia woman lost an eye just 3 months before her wedding. It happened in a minor car accident when the airbag deployed and shattered her sunglasses. As Caitlin Ross reports, now the woman is advocating for safer lenses.
Getting in the car is getting easier for Hannah Oliver.
At first, it was very stressful. It was a lot of anxiety.
Anxiety about what she's missing.
You, right here. I can't see you.
And what she's lost.
I actually have no depth perception.
Really?
Don't get nervous.
Her easy smile and her sunglasses covering the hard truth of her accident.
It's excruciating pain, like the worst pain I've ever felt in my life.
Wearing sunglasses when she got into a minor fender bender on South Cobb Drive.
As soon as the airbag hit my eye, it literally shattered into pieces.
Airbags deploy at a speed of 200 miles an hour with a force of up to 2,000 pounds. That's an impact most sunglasses just can't withstand. Hannah lost her right eye just 3 months before her wedding, finding the courage to talk about it online.
When a video goes viral, it's like, do-do-do-do-do. My airbag came out, hit my precious designer sunglasses, and they shattered into a million pieces.
She found out she wasn't alone.
I've connected with hundreds of people that have lost their eye the same exact way. People have lost their eye through sunglasses, and it's because we're not making them safer.
I've got a pair here.
Safety is something optometrist Frank Winsky thinks about a lot. The eye doctor says anyone getting behind the wheel with glasses or sunglasses should have polycarbonate lenses in the frame.
It's basically shatterproof, where it'll take a significant impact and not break.
The polycarbonate material is more expensive than glass or plastic, but tested rigorously for safety.
What I could only find was like sporting sunglasses or like fishing sunglasses, but I am a girl's girl, and that was not going to work for me.
Hannah set out to create both, designing her own sunglass line.
100% protective is what I say, but also stylish.
With shatter-resistant polycarbonate lenses.
We shouldn't have to think about it when we put sunglasses on our face that we might have to lose our eyesight, that we might be partially blind or blind because of something that we're wearing on our face.
Hannah thinks polycarbonate lenses should be mandated. It's standard for kids' glasses, but after turning 18, it's an upcharge to get the stronger material in a lens.
If that would have been a law, like I would have my vision right now. You would be in the car with a driver that has two eyes and not one.
Now she's driven to use what she does have for good.
I feel like this happened for me for a reason, and I feel like I can be a voice and change things, and I hope through my story that I can change the eyewear industry.
And it can be tricky to spot polycarbonate lenses when buying a new pair. You can search for a tag attached to the glasses that lists the materials, but the information is not always included. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves a much colder day across the area with some rain and maybe even some snow. We'll take a look at that forecast when we come back.
At a price that's affordable. So if you think you can't afford dental implants, think again.
Go ahead and smile.
Right now at 5:30, an animal testing laboratory becomes a new humane home for nearly 200 dogs and cats.
And we've got ourselves a cold, breezy, and potentially wintry day ahead of us, at least for some. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
Plus, Jasper County, Missouri officials announced the results of a broadband study in the area.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 5:29 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. There's something here. Do we have something that we can take care of that with? Nope. Well, that's all right. There's a, I don't know, somebody's like coffee mug or something left a little circle.
Glad, yeah.
I come back and this is what I come back to. What's going on here?
You what? Yeah.
What? I'm not here, so you just pile your stuff up on my side of the desk. Is that how this works? I leave for a day. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have a sick kid. And you're like, okay, and just pile all your junk. You make dinner here too?
Oh, all right, Chris.
Kayla, we get along a lot better than what I think some people may think. We really do. We have a lot of fun.
We do.
We have a lot of fun weather to talk about, depending on how you feel about wintry weather across the area. Really, though, we have fun. We do enjoy each other's company. We give each other a hard time, but it's because we like each other. That's why. It's fun, and you got to have fun at 5 o'clock in the morning. All right, MoDOT camera 20th in range line. We're looking good so far, and in all honesty, I think in Joplin, we're probably going to stay looking pretty good. Skywatch Storm Tracker, we do have some showers out there around Osceola back down towards Stockton, and otherwise just kind of cloudy skies around the region. We have that cold front that's getting set to roll through, and this cloud line is about where that front is, and we're going to see more showers develop on that, and as temperatures fall, some of us could see a transition to snow. Temperatures, of course, already falling out west. We're in the upper 30s, low 40s into southeast Kansas. We still have some warmer temperatures way down into the southern half of our viewing area, but all of us are going to see those temperatures fall as we go through the day. So, great example of that, the bus stop forecast. 41 cloudy when the kids get on the bus, east breeze 5 to 10. Winds shift out of the north, then they start gusting upwards of 30. So we're talking wind chill values, 30s, 20s, maybe even the upper teens for some of us. And we're talking 33 as well, mostly cloudy skies. That's the other thing. The precipitation we see is going to come in a window between about, say 9, 10 o'clock in the morning through about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Some of us will remain just warm enough that it won't actually transition to anything other than just rain. Others could see that mix. Others may see some light snow, but we're not looking at any major accumulations, maybe a dusting at best. Once that clears out, though, temperatures again gradually fall back through the day into the low 30s. We're cloudy and we are breezy. We're going to talk more about these snow chances, the rain chances, and when warmer weather returns in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. The IRS is warning tax professionals to watch out for a new scam. They say the scammers claim to be new clients through an email asking for help with their taxes. It usually includes a malicious link or attachment the scammer claims is their tax information. When it's clicked, the scammers get access to the tax preparer's personal information and possible that of real clients. A rescue organization says it has shut down an animal testing lab in Nowata, Oklahoma. They claim the efforts of the group, Beagle Freedom Project, closed the doors on a laboratory that conducted testing for the flea and tick industry and saved the lives of more than 200 animals being used for testing and breeding. The group has now taken over the 30-acre Nowata, Oklahoma property and facilities while animals were previously held, and plans to transform the space into Freedom Fields, a rescue, rehabilitation, and adoption center. We'll have more on this story tonight on KOAM News at 10. And the Lowell Milken Center for Unsung Heroes in Fort Scott held a presentation about a jazz musician, James Reese Europe. the latest figure recognized by the nonprofit. Lem Shepard, renowned musician and historian, played jazz, ragtime, and the blues, making sure to let the audience know this is part of American history.
I relate it to people's hometown because I want to get them thinking, oh yeah, we've heard of Potter's Grove, or oh yeah, there used to be an opera house here. And so let them know that that place on the corner there, that historic railroad depot, was a place that popular black musicians.
The presentation was funded by a Humanities Kansas grant. Jasper County officials yesterday announced the completion of a broadband feasibility study. The study found 5,700 homes and businesses in the county have slow broadband speeds. It also shows many residents are unhappy with the speeds, reliability, and costs of their internet connectivity. Officials say fixing this problem is a top priority.
Certainly, the next step is the county is going to be reaching out to all the ISPs, all the internet service providers that are within the county, and have discussions with them to see about their willingness and their ability to be able to try to expand their services into these more rural areas that don't have broadband right now.
County officials are also looking into grants to help speed up connectivity. Crowder College yesterday celebrated the end of its Love of Literacy book drive. From the middle of January until last Wednesday, the college's Adult Education and Literacy Center collected books designed for kids ages 7 and under. Yesterday, they distributed those books to area families. They also had crafts, snacks, and prizes at the distribution event.
We just want them to be engaged with looking at all of the book selections and just choosing some books that they're drawn to and that they would want to experience. And also with the celebrity readers, to be able to just listen to the books and how dynamic the stories are, and then just enjoy books from a very young age.
Head Start and Early Head Start, Crowder College, Lee Library, and Newton County Libraries all helped with the event. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are sounding the alarm on what they're calling a serious national security threat. Plus, Israel's military claims it captured dozens of terror suspects during a raid on southern Gaza's main hospital. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
News is sponsored by Aaron Sachs and Associates, proud partner of Travis Kelce and his foundation, 87 and running.
Topping World Watch, lawmakers on Capitol Hill are sounding the alarm on what they're calling a serious national security threat. It's related to a potential Russian nuclear weapon designed to be used in space. Correspondent Rebecca Castor has the latest from Washington.
This could be the first real test for the U.S. Space Force to stop a Russian nuclear weapon in space.
This would enable them to target satellites and communications and GPS capabilities, but it also, more importantly, would be able to potentially be an EMP that could target the entire U.S. grid and all electronics. So this is way beyond space, and this would be a new capability that we have effectively no defense against.
If Russia launches it, they'd be violating international law. And the chair of the House Intelligence Committee, Mike Turner, is calling on President Biden to declassify all information related to the threat so the U.S. and its allies can discuss how to respond.
This is going to be, I think, an all-of-government response, diplomatic, informational, military, economic, but we need to see a strategy and a plan from this administration.
The Biden administration is staying tight-lipped on the details of the threat, while National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan will brief top lawmakers Thursday.
There's no need for public alarm. We are going to work together to address this matter, as we do all sensitive matters that are classified.
At the same time, House lawmakers are sitting on billions of dollars in emergency aid for Ukraine as part of a national security package.
Nothing would make Putin happier right now than to see Congress waver in its support for Ukraine. Nothing would help him more on the battlefield.
This also ramps up pressure on President Biden ahead of the general election as he fights off accusations from Republicans that he has problems with his memory.
The UK is turning to TikTok to try to curb illegal immigration. Officials plan to pay influencers to post videos warning migrants not to travel to Britain. The spots will warn about the risk and repercussions of using small boats to come to the UK. As of January, over 600 migrants traveled by boat to get to the UK. Over 29,000 migrants made the dangerous journey in 2023. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle hit the slopes and show support for the Invictus Games in Canada. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex spent part of their Valentine's Day in Whistler at the Invictus Games training camp. As the countdown starts for the 2025 Winter Games, the couple met with athletes in adaptive skis, and Prince Harry even took a practice run. Prince Harry founded the Invictus Games in 2014, which was created for wounded, injured, or sick service personnel and veterans. Next year's Games will be the first winter edition. Fighting in parts of Gaza has intensified, and Israel's military claims it captured dozens of terror suspects during a raid on southern Gaza's main hospital, where staff and patients were forced to flee under gunfire. Senior correspondent Mike Tobin is in northern Israel with the latest.
Bloodshed in the Gaza Strip, with Israeli special forces storming the largest functioning hospital in the Strip. An IDF spokesman says October 7th attackers hid in Nasser Hospital.
There may be bodies of our hostages in the Nasser Hospital facility.
Fighting in the north of Israel reached its greatest intensity since the terror attack, still threatening to open a second front with Hezbollah. A rocket from Lebanon struck deep inside Israel Tuesday, wounding 8 and killing a soldier. Israel responded with airstrikes and says a Hezbollah commander and 2 operatives were killed. Lebanese sources say civilians died. As Hezbollah strikes back with more rocket fire, Israel's defense minister threatened the Iranian proxy is taking the same risk as Hamas.
We can do copy-paste from Gaza to Beirut. We don't want to get there.
Caught in the middle are the civilians in Israel's north. 60,000 people have fled from towns like Kiryat Shmona.
Every day, there are attacks coming from Lebanon of missiles, mortars, UAVs, rockets, anti-tanks, which are accurate missiles.
In 2006, Israel was at war with Hezbollah. About 50% of this town evacuated for around 2 weeks. Now 90% of the town is gone. It's lasted 4 months. Hezbollah's leader vows Israel will pay the price.
This is not life. And what the government needs to do is to tell to IDF to go and take care of Hezbollah, because there will be no other solution.
Rockets were incoming most of the night here in Israel's north. Fighter jets responded. In the south of the country, residents of Kibbutz Nir Oz confirmed another one of the hostages taken on October 7th has died, Yair Yaakov. His remains are being held by Hamas.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Tommy with Heritage Tractor. Gear up for warmer weather during our Green Up sale. Saving on a new dependable John Deere mower or compact tractor. Stop in or visit heritagetractor.com today. Exclusions apply. Offer ends March 16, 2024.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Now 5:45 on this finally Friday here in the 4 states. Cloudy skies, as you can see on our camera from downtown Joplin on top of the Cornell complex, and it's starting to gradually get colder out there. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking pretty good as a few folks starting to get their day underway. Skywatch Storm Tracker, you can almost tell right where that frontal boundary is as showers continue to develop. We've got some heavier showers now just to the east of Stockton and just to the northeast of Osceola, and a few light showers out there in between. And we're going to see more rain develop across the area. The clouds here give an even better kind of example as to where that boundary is with that cold front as it pushes through. And the other thing that'll show us where that cold front is temperatures here in just a moment. Heading through the morning, we're going to see rain start to increase across the area. We'll have some showers, and believe it or not, could even have a rumble of thunder or two out there. And as temperatures fall in our northern counties, we're going to see that transition from rain to a wintry mix to maybe even some light snow across the area. Again, especially in our northern counties where the temperatures are going to fall faster. Here's the deal, though. As the front rolls through, some of us may stay ahead of it and stay warm enough that while we have precipitation in the area, it will simply remain rain for some of us, while others will see that wintry mix or that transition to some light snow. And by 3 o'clock, we're left with a couple of stray showers by Cassville, the rest of it out of here. The snow tracker, as you can see, Stockton, the only community showing any kind of detectable precipitation or detectable snow at about 1/10 of an inch. We're looking at best at a dusting in the areas that may actually see snow, because that's the other side of this isn't a long-lived system here. As the front rolls through, though, winds out of the north gusting upwards of 30, potentially 35 miles an hour. That's going to send our wind chills down into the 20s and teens, and it will stay breezy through the evening and overnight hours and into the first half of our Saturday before those winds do eventually begin to calm down by Saturday afternoon. Right now in Joplin, it is 44. It is cloudy. It feels like 44 for the time being as the wind is relatively calm out there. But again, that's going to start to change. Those wind arrows again showing about where that boundary is. And so off to the north and west, we're colder, upper 30s, low 40s. And off to the south and east of that boundary, still a bit milder, upper 40s and still sitting at about 51 in Bentonville. As we go through today, again, we'll have the rain. We'll see that wintry mix for some of us, maybe some light snow, breezy. And those winds will start picking up by about 9 o'clock and temperatures gradually falling. That's at least the good news is they're not going to plummet, but with the winds, it's going to feel like they're plummeting out there. We're going to, at best, make the 30s this afternoon, but technically we've hit highs in the upper 40s, and that is already past for some of us where our temperatures are already falling, others sitting in the upper 40s, and then again, the temperatures will fall through the day. Once this wraps up, again, we're mostly cloudy and breezy, and we'll stay cloudy to mostly cloudy through the evening, still windy overnight. Skies gradually clearing as we go overnight, so we're going to go partly cloudy. Temperatures a pinch below average, but not by much, but they are considerably colder than what we've been treated to here lately as we drop back into the low to mid 20s. Our Saturday, though, below average for the highs. We should be about 50 degrees out there, and we're sitting into the upper 30s. And again, we'll see a gradual clearing as the day goes on. Another night into the 20s Saturday night, and as we head into Sunday, a little bit warmer, 53, sunny skies. We'll see some clouds here and there, but as we head into the next work week, our temperatures will begin to warm, upper 50s, upper 60s, low 70s by Wednesday, and then we could see some additional rain chances by next Thursday. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Are you game? I am ready. Then take a spin on the Wheel of Fortune. Part of CBS Premier Week on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Surgery that's out of this world. Doctors on Earth controlled a tiny robot at the International Space Station to perform a remote operation. Kristen Fisher details this major milestone.
Sitting on top of this SpaceX rocket when it launched in January was the first surgical robot bound for outer space.
So Mira is a small surgical robot.
Mira, made by a company called Virtual Incision, arrived at the International Space Station in February, and on Saturday, it did something that's never been done before.
Saturday was the first time that a surgical robot in space was controlled by surgeons on Earth to perform simulated surgical activities.
Virtual Incision provided CNN with exclusive video as 6 surgeons at the company's headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska, took turns operating the robot after it was powered up by NASA astronauts roughly 250 miles above.
The adrenaline was pumping, and I could feel my heart pounding. It was really exhilarating, but at the same time, once I saw that robotic device doing the things that I'm used to it doing, settled down.
Dr. Michael Jobst says he's already performed 15 surgeries with Mira during clinical trials on human patients here on Earth, but he's never had to contend with zero gravity or a time delay of about half a second.
A split second or a half a second is going to be significant. So this was a big challenge.
You can see a left hand with a grasper and a right hand with a pair of scissors. And we use rubber bands here to simulate surgical tissue.
So you could think of those rubber bands as perhaps, blood vessels or tendons or other connective tissue that has elasticity. So we're able to, grab hold of the rubber bands and then take the scissors and just basically to cut them.
All right, I'm going for it.
Yeah! One small rubber band, but a great leap for surgery. Yeah!
In addition to someday performing remote surgeries on people in space, they also want to use this technology on Earth in rural areas or war zones where it might be tough to find a surgeon. We'll be right back.
Help build the equipment that keeps America running. That's it. Then take a spin on the Wheel of Fortune.
6 nights a week on KOAM TV.
Humans aren't the only animals who like to tease each other for fun. A new international study suggests our primate cousins enjoy that habit as well. The scientists looked at video footage of chimps, orangutans, bonobos, and gorillas interacting at zoos in San Diego and Leipzig, Germany. The researchers paid close attention to actions, body movements, facial expressions, and the response of the target. In all, they found 18 different teasing behaviors. They included body slamming, poking, hindering movement, and pulling on each other's hair. The researchers say they rarely observed any aggressive reaction from the target of teasing. They also noted the playful teasing typically occurred while the apes were relaxed. Hardcore seafood fans may want to sink their claw into Red Lobster's new contest. The Orlando-based company is announcing the debut of its nationwide Endless Lobster experience. No, it doesn't mean free crustaceans until the end of time. Rather, the 150 winners of this contest will be endlessly served lobster for 2 hours. They'll all get 2 side dishes and Red Lobster's signature Cheddar Bay biscuits. After that 2-hour fest, victors will also be given about a dozen lobsters to take home. Although some winners may want to take a break from lobster and stash them in the freezer, the contest, which is held on Red Lobster's social media pages, starts February 20th.
Now I'm hungry. Let's just pack up the morning show and we'll go eat somewhere. How does that sound? Okay, good. And see, our primate friends tease each other just like you and I do.
Mm-hmm.
We're cool. We're very cool. It also is going to be very cool today. Highs early in the upper 40s. Some of us still there. Most of us already starting to fall. We're going to be to the mid-30s by this afternoon. Rain, snow, and a mix of the two will wrap up by about, say, 1 o'clock or so across the area. And it'll be mostly cloudy, breezy. We'll have those north winds gusting around, say, 35 miles an hour, and that'll put our wind chill values into the 20s and even into the teens. As we go into the evening, still breezy out there, cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. And even though we're cold tonight, we're not too far off of normal as we fall back in the low to mid 20s, while gradually clearing skies, still breezy, so wind chills definitely falling back into the teens overnight tonight. So do be prepared for that. If you got some Friday night plans, you're going to want to bundle up out there, something we haven't had to do for quite some time, it seems. 37 on Saturday, so below normal, as we should be right around 50. Skies continuing to gradually clear, and we'll still be breezy until about noon, 1 o'clock, and then the winds will let up for a little bit. Still cold, 20s Saturday night, and as we head through Sunday and into next week, temperatures warming back up, upper 50s, upper 60s, low 70s, and some rain chances by next Thursday. So again, this is just a brief cold blast before the nice weather returns. Let's check your forecast. Got another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Don't drink and drive. At Bath Naylor Funeral Home, we're not in a hurry.